Gentlemen, I'm glad you're here at the Cisco Theater as your host. It's my honor and privilege to introduce Dan and Rick. You've seen Abbott and Costello. You've seen the Marx Brothers. Now you're going to see Dan and Rick, everyone. Put your hands together for them. They're going to talk about the
Hello.
Cisco
Welcome.
Instant Connect.
So what is Cisco Instant Connect, Rick?
Well, it probably starts when I reach over here and turn my microphone on, Dan.
Instantly.
Instantly, I've turned on my microphone and we have Cisco Instant Connect. Cisco Instant Connect is a product that we at Cisco came up with to take your... How many of you are using Cisco IP telephony? All right, a great big show of hands. Thank you. So, for those, we're really happy with you, Bab. For those of you who are using Cisco IP telephony in your enterprises or your customers are using Cisco, which you should be, all of the Cisco unified communication products that work together, we've taken it and used Cisco Instant Connect to allow us to connect things like radios and cell phones and Cisco Wi-Fi phone. I think I've got one of those in another pocket. Cisco Wi-Fi phones over here, all together so that they can all be used together.
So let's say Rick and I are on the same talk group. Are you saying if I push my button, testing, can you hear me?
Yes, Dan, I can hear you through my radio from your Android client.
Okay, so any device over the network instantly communicating. Push
Absolutely.
To talk. Okay.
We've got you covered.
So why don't we do something different today? Can we do our presentation backwards?
We certainly can,
Okay.
because we know this presentation backwards and forwards,
Okay.
and Cisco knows communications backwards and forwards.
So thank you for coming to our presentation, right? That would be the last thing we'd say. And I'm going to click
guess
the
that would be.
clicker backwards, and let's see if it's working here. Uh-oh.
Oh, we may have to have Mark just roll the slides backwards for us. There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
See, we got that
let's see.
part right. All right. So let's go backwards, Dan. Keep going.
Oh, gosh. Somebody's using our product? Who's this, Rick?
Well, this would be Denton ISD, Dan, and we've got some wonderful folks who are using the Cisco products to integrate for schools, but we have more than that. So let's keep going back. Let's see if we have another slide here. Ah, we have a demonstration
Oh, my
slide.
God. We already did one,
Well,
but let's do another
we did
one.
the demonstration, Dan. I talked to you through that device. I talked to you through this device. We talked to each other through devices. And we make lots of feedback.
And there's a wired IP phone that's listening to us as well.
Right over there by that lady in the green top over there. So absolutely, we're annoying people across the entire booth. Let's see what else we've got here.
This is what the screens look like.
That looks like the user interface, doesn't it?
So again, you log in, you have a server address, this is on-premise, you pick your channel, and you hit your green button. So why is the halo green? What does that represent?
The halo is green, Dan, because that shows we're receiving traffic, at least in the PowerPoint slide. But if you key up over here, you'll see we actually receive traffic in real time also.
And so it turns red when I speak and when I transmit.
Absolutely. So let's go back another slide and see what else we've got in here. Oh my goodness, this looks like a giant architecture showing how all these things connect together in your Cisco unified environment.
So you have users, you have administrators. What's this touchscreen turd over here?
I'm glad you asked. That is from a partner who was famous for doing financial trading floor systems called IP Trade. This is their new version called IP Command. And we just deployed this at the major power utility in California that does all of Northern California. And they have over 700 radio talk groups set up and accessible from that system, plus their entire Cisco Unified Communications call center on the other side of the screen.
So if you wanted to take phone calls, you're able to take phone calls. And if you want to talk on 30 simultaneous radios, you're able to do that as well?
Absolutely. If you can listen to 30 simultaneous radios, I'm having a hard time juggling the ones I have in my hand. So there you go. But you absolutely can.
30 at a time. Isn't that great? Let's go back one more slide. And this, what is this showing? Coverage?
Well,
how does that work?
I think we're going to see coverage here for the next 3 slides getting smaller and smaller, since normally it gets bigger and bigger. But we're showing how you can take Cisco Instant Connect and link in with all the other Cisco solutions, including even things like our big satellite over here on our Nerve truck, to using local connections from the 819 router deployed perhaps in a vehicle to your on-premise radio system. And specifically, we designed a product here for those who lost Nextel coverage a few months ago to give them back their beep beeps, as they say, where we use your on-premise Wi-Fi that you're already using perhaps for data or RFID tracking or something else around your enterprise. We tie the Cisco Enterprise Wi-Fi phones, the 7925 or 7926, also available in yellow for those who have high spark or flame environments.
Intrinsically safe. Nice yellow.
We didn't pay the money for the sticker, so it's. I don't remember the factory mutual listing, but it's not IS. But
it's a pretty yellow phone.
It's a pretty yellow phone with a gasket and it won't spark, and we save the customer a lot of money by not putting that
Rick,
sticker there.
What Nextel feature do those phones support? The midlet.
Well, the midlet that we wrote for this, it's like an application. It's like middleware. We call it a midlet. Has different talk groups that you can go into, so you can do your group connect just like you could your Nextel. But we also have the ability, except I just hit the logout button, to actually switch over to a directory of users in the system and allow you to do a point-to-point call also.
A point-to-point push-to-talk call.
Point-to-point push-to-talk call. Oh, by the way, it also still works as a phone, Dan.
A full duplex phone call. So there you have it. Phone, individual push-to-talk, and group push-to-talk.
Absolutely.
Is there a button on the side of that phone?
There's
like this button here?
There is a button on the side of the phone like that one, and there are buttons down here. But like I said, I accidentally logged it out, Dan, so I'm going to have to sit here and
all right.
demo.
So
let's go back a slide
whether
while
you're
I press the buttons here.
in the building or whether you have a two-way radio network, you can also connect that to a router. So you can have your two-way radios talking to your Wi-Fi phones, talking to your Android phones, and also if you have a mobile router in your car, you can light up the car as a Wi-Fi hotspot and have a data connection back to your enterprise.
Absolutely. We're back in. All right, so let's, what else have we got up here? We've shown that wonderful screen. Hey, there's those green and red halos we talked about earlier. Always on workforce communications. Let's go back one more slide, Dan.
You mean there's a return on investment?
This is your side. I'm the bits and bytes guy. You're the money guy. So talk about the return on investment.
Actually, if you're a data subscriber for AT&T or Sprint, you're at least having to pay a monthly fee. With our solution here, it's on-premise and there's no monthly fees. So if depending on how many push-to-talk users you have, the system pays for itself within 6 months.
How does the price of one of these compare to the price of, say, one of those or one of these, Dan?
Okay, so the Wi-Fi phone's about a few $100s.
Okay.
But once you buy it, you don't have to pay the monthly recurring fee. So that's the other nice thing about this is you can have battery chargers. So it has a gangbang charger. So
really?
If you have many phones, and you can see the charger inside the Nerve vehicle.
Okay.
And you can also have spare batteries being charged at the same time. So if you have many shifts, they can all use the same phone, just get a new battery.
Well, I can do that on my Android phone, but that other brand phone, I can't change the battery in, Dan.
Yes.
Okay.
So what are the benefits? Lower cost, greater control, and faster performance. When I push my button, am I instantly talking to you?
You're instantly talking to me without latency or delay.
Yes, that's pretty fast.
Truth be told, it's about 80 milliseconds. It's not completely instant, but...
And so the newest lineup to the Instant Connect is the Android, the Wi-Fi midlet, the touchscreen turret, and in the on-premise servers, we do the media mixing and we control all the endpoints. So when you log in, each person has a password and we deliver those channels upon logging in.
And they own their servers, and we run it all on VMware. So if they've already got existing Cisco Unified Communications platforms that they're running, like our Call Manager products, you can use those same UCS servers to run the Instant Connect.
Can this be installed in a router, like a 3945, Rick?
You absolutely can. You can use our, on the other side of the wall, our UCS 160E blade, so that gets you down to a very slim form factor. And it's a total fit. You can use any of our UC platforms to host this, Dan.
Well, there you have it. Here's the architecture. When you tie into the two-way radios, you use an E&M card on a router. When you're in your enterprise Wi-Fi network, you just tie it into the access points. A mobile router in a vehicle, IP trade command, IP command desktop.
The black version of the white phone back there in our one-seat SFOC.
And it ties into the corporate communications like a call manager.
Absolutely. So if you have folks, say, working in an environment where you're going to put them all in a conference room and you want to use a speakerphone, pardon me, we don't want to say the competition there.
Yes.
But you can have everybody in the room sitting around the speakerphone and being able to listen into the meeting.
Well,
all right.
That's
what else
great.
have we got as we go backwards here?
Well, we told everyone how it fits into the Internet of Things because right now 5% of devices might be connected to the Internet. What happens when Rick's got 5 devices that need to connect to the Internet? You keep
We start
getting IP addresses. It keeps getting bigger.
and it gets
And now-
bigger and bigger. But Dan, I have people sometimes say, how is a radio part of the Internet of Things?
Yes. How is it, Rick?
How is that? Well, now as radios get more sophisticated, those of you who have PTT users, you're finding things like folks with body harnesses with telemetry sensors. Our friends at Tate have done that. You've got GPS mics. You have radio systems that are reporting back on things like battery health and receive signal indication and how much they're being used. All of a sudden, this device is not just a two-way radio. It's really a sensor out there in your environment, and we can fully integrate that using kind of the big brother to the Instant Connect product, the iPix product. We do P25, ISSI, DFSI, MPT, lots of radio acronyms for the radio folks around here.
So can we also connect a camera to the internet? And does this communicate directly to a camera?
It absolutely will, Dan. We'll want to be over there. We're in that corner demo to show that piece off. But we actually took one of our Cisco 6000P cameras, like you see mounted around here. And this is a science project right now. It's me experimenting, so don't sell it, Dan.
Okay.
You can't sell it until we have the firmware fully baked.
But if the camera's connected to the internet,
If the camera's connected to the internet, I can hit this camera button down here. It'll say it's connecting.
and
It'll
you can,
say it's connecting.
and so-
it connected. Sometimes the science projects work. So, sir, you probably hear my voice coming out behind you over
he's
there
talking to the camera.
through those speakers.
Internet of Things.
Internet
from his
of
phone
Things.
directly to a camera. So what would you say to a camera? Let's
I would
say-
probably say, hey, you leave my copper in the ground, or step away from the vehicle, or maybe I would turn it on because it's bidirectional, and if I have my plant and I'm watching my garage and I see me breaking into your car, I might not say anything. I might listen and then send the security patrol over to come visit you.
There you go.
Kind of depends on your situation.
It's the Internet of Things.
What else do we should be getting
I
close
think
to
this
the
is
front.
the
I hope
beginning of
that's
the
it.
presentation. There we
Yay.
go.
That
Cisco
was fun.
Connected Safety and Security.
Backwards
Rick.
and forwards. Thank you, Dan. That was fun.
All right,
Ladies
that's
and
Cisco
gentlemen,
Instant
Cisco
Connect.
Instant Connect with
Thank
Dan
you.
and Rick.
You can come see us if you have more questions. We'll be more serious than we were up here.
Yes.
It all started with Laurel and Hardy and Abbott and Costello. Now we've got Dan and Rick, everyone.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everyone.
Now it's the magician. I'm going to take those pieces of paper you filled out.